Let nobody tell us this is not an attack on Modi. Of course it's an attack on Modi. Apart from naming Modi, Nitish Kumar has done everything and said everything in that interview. So it is Nitish Kumar versus Narendra Modi. On the debate tonight, Subramaniam Swamy is on with us. Vinod Sharma, who is the political editor of the Hindustan Times. Thank you very much. I'm joined tonight by Mahesh Jethmalani, BJP leader from Mumbai, Swapan Dasgupta, senior journalist and columnist from Delhi, Asaduddin Owaisi, member of parliament from Hyderabad, and Devesh Chandra Thakur. My first question, sir, is to you. What was the need, Mr. Thakur,
yes,
for this kind of a direct, personal, 7-point attack on Narendra Modi? Is this a declaration of your leader Nitish Kumar's prime ministerial ambitions or his insecurity?
Arnav, I think it is neither. You are forgetting it's not that Honorable Nitish Kumar held a press conference and said all these things. Some journalists from Economic Times came for an interview and he answered all the questions in the interview. So it's not that he on his own called for a press conference and gave on all these conditions and all that.
That doesn't matter.
The timing is...
No, it doesn't matter whether he was asked to say it, Mr. Thakur. Nobody can ask him to say anything. It doesn't matter whether he said it in a speech, a rally, a press conference or an interview. The fact is he has attacked Narendra Modi directly and quite personally.
Yes. No, I don't think it has been personal. He has just put forward his view as a partner of the NDA.
Right.
He has just put forward his personal view or a view of the party.
That not
I think
Modi.
he's within his rights to say that. He has not named anyone.
He's talking about Modi.
He will not make any compromise on
He's talking about Modi.
Our secularism is concerned. Exactly. He has not mentioned Mr. Modi. He has not mentioned. He has said that we are not going to compromise on our secular agenda and we are not going to accept any
He's talking about Modi.
As the name for the prime ministership is concerned.
He's talking about Modi. I want you to admit that he's talking about Modi.
He has not mentioned any name, Arnab. He has put forward his views that we are going to stick to secularism.
So there are no, people can see through this. You can't, this suggestive politics is difficult one. If you're attacking Modi, you attack Modi. If you're not attacking Modi, you don't attack. So I feel the attack is on Modi. Because he says...
That might be your way of thinking. It
really?
Might not be Nitish Kumar's way.
Okay, let's get a second point of view. Is the reference to Modi? Swapan Dasgupta is the reference to Modi in Nitish Kumar's interview.
Well, I have little doubt that it is an allusion to Narendra Modi, and it corresponds more or less with certain very known and stated positions of Nitish Kumar so far. So I'm not very surprised. You see, but I think you're overreading this. What has happened is that following the BJP National Executive in Mumbai, there have been certain moves. There is the emergence of Narendra Modi on the national stage. There is a possibility, in fact a strong possibility, of perhaps Narendra Modi being appointed as the BJP's #1 national leader. Whether that translates into the prime ministerial candidate or not, we do not know. Under the circumstances, given the very preliminary nature of it, I think Nitish Kumar has every right to...
No, I am not questioning the right.
On the process.
No, I'm not questioning the right. I'm asking you
whether... The point is, but this is not necessarily the last word on the subject.
No.
If, in India, we don't have the system of primaries. But if you were to look upon it as the advent of a particular leader on the national stage, and others giving their pros and cons, etc., including certain barbed comments about him. And I think it all depends on the extent to which Narendra Modi has a degree of national acceptability. If he has national acceptability, which cuts across the board, which is not confined merely to Western India, extends to Bihar as well, I think you will find that perhaps entrenched positions such as these will perforce be modified.
Mr. Dasgupta.
So we are seeing at a very early stage.
No, of course it's an early stage, but that's precisely why.
Yeah, exactly. And I think therefore, for you to contemplate at this point, to say, ask sort of questions like, are they heading for a split, etc., to my mind is very, very premature.
Well, I think
we have a situation. We have a situation where there is going to be elections, and obviously there will be leaders who will be thrown up by the political processes. And they will be tested both in terms of personal popularity among the electorate as well as political acceptability among the politicians.
Mr. Dasgupta,
this is part of that.
Mr. Dasgupta, this point is being made 3 times in the course of this interview. I would gladly agree with you that I'm overplaying it, but I think that many people are underplaying it given the fact that he has said seven times he has snubbed Narendra Modi in that interview, and 3 times he is saying that it is time for the Prime Minister, for the NDA to declare its candidate in advance 2 years before the elections. Why is he saying so? Let's get Asaduddin Owaisi into this.
Yes.
Mr. Owaisi.
I think Mr. Owaisi being an expert on the NDA, presumably.
I'll come back to, I just want to get all perspectives in, Mr. Dasgupta, on this. Is this, in your view, are these valid observations which are being made vis-a-vis Narendra Modi here by Nitish Kumar? Have you seen the interview and what is your observation on it?
Arnab Goswami, just now Mr. Dasgupta has called me an expert. Let me just put a point to him.
Yes.
That could he please enlighten a person like me, a layman, that isn't NDA in disarray? And on what basis you take a person in NDA who has called your own great Vajpayee as a British informer? He had written a letter to Sri Moraji Desai, and that person who I am referring to, Mr. Arnab Goswami, is right in your studio. I am surprised that the NDA BJP holds Vajpayee in such a high esteem, and you take in a person who called Vajpayee a British informer and wrote a letter. Secondly, Mr. Arnab Goswami, there is no way, if let us say for argument's sake, Modi is projected. I have met Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy and during the course of our discussion in Chanchalguda jail, he told me very categorically, the good part about this whole thing is certainly nothing doing. I will not go with communal party like NDA or BJP at all. The third point is, the reason Advani couldn't make a progress in 2004 and in 9 was because Mr. Advani was identified directly with the demolition of Babri Masjid. Fourth, if Modi is projected, you be rest assured that the 19% of the minority vote and a substantial number of majority community vote who are secular in nature will directly come to UPA. You will be giving them on a platter to UPA.
Now let's get Mahesh Jethmalani in. Let's get all views in. Welcome Mr. Yatin Oza to the debate tonight.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, is it time for the BJP to back off, maybe go slow a little bit, because Nitish Kumar has made it very clear. I am very uncomfortable with Narendra Modi. You continue this projection of Narendra Modi and I will walk out of the NDA. This is essentially what he is saying. I don't see any other message in this Economic Times interview. What do you think?
Well, it may be your interpretation and that of the Economic Times may be right, because I've noticed that the Economic Times has then gone on to say that it was a reference to Narendra Modi. But we have Mr. Thakur here, who's the spokesperson, and he said it wasn't a reference to anybody else. So unless Nitishji comes out openly and says who his objections are to, what he says about the candidature of the leader of the NDA or the BJP, that he must be somebody with a liberal frame of mind, he must respect democratic values, all that is unacceptable. Those qualities certainly be fine in almost every potential Prime Minister in the BJP.
No, but let's not talk theoretically.
Will find.
No, let's not talk theoretically. So specifically, my question to you is on 3 adjectives which are in the interview. Yes. In your view, Mr. Mahesh, let's open up the debate. In your view, does Narendra Modi have, in the words of Nitish Kumar, secular credentials? 1. B, no rough edges in his personality, and seen as accommodating. I'm taking only 3 of the 7 or 8 ways in which Mr. Nitish Kumar has described what an NDA prime ministerial candidate should be like. Does Narendra Modi have these qualities? Then we'll open this up.
Well, on all the other qualities, on all the 6 of the 7 qualities, I would have to say a resounding yes. As far as the question of secular is concerned, we will have to define what secularism means.
Define.
And that opens up a whole area of debate. Yes, he has been dogged by controversy on the Gujarat 2002 riots, but the question is moot. And until the courts give a definitive verdict on his role therein, I am not willing. Since the matter is sub judice, I have studiously avoided making a comment on secular credentials as defined by the so-called secularists in this country. So I will await that, and then we'll debate secularism.
Well, obviously Mr. Nitish Kumar wants to spark off a debate. And therefore I now go to Vinod Sharma, then I'm opening this up. No, he wants to spark off. He wants a debate to happen on Mr. Narendra Modi's projection as Prime Minister, which he is worried is happening. I mean, we'll have to define what secularism is, says Mahesh Jethmalani. Vinod Sharma, let's get your view on it. What do you think of Nitish Kumar's interview?
Well, 2 points, Arnab. First of all, I think that Swapan is right that the provocation came from the BJP's National Executive meeting in Mumbai, where there was an excessive projection of Mr. Narendra Modi. It seemed that he was leading the party by its nose, and perhaps that is where the provocation lies. But at the same time, may I point out that making Modi an issue at the national level might, given the mindset of the Gujarat voter, might help him in the assembly elections finally.
But
and much will depend on how Narendra Modi performs in the assembly elections in Gujarat. And that is what will be the starting point for his journey, if at all, at the national scene. Indeed, having had some degree of acquaintance with Nitish Kumar, I may say that Nitish is not going to compromise on this issue. And there is not going to be any split. In fact, there may be, broadly Sushil Modi speaking the language of Nitish Kumar. And I wouldn't put it beyond the pale of possibility. And I'm not being, trying to raise some spectre, which is not possible. But there could be a possibility of the Bihar unit of BJP thinking differently from the national unit of BJP if Mr. Modi is indeed projected as the leader nationally.
Well, I don't want to get drawn into this debate about whether it will be good for Narendra Modi or bad for Narendra Modi if the issue is discussed. The fact is that you have one prime ministerial aspirant, Nitish Kumar. I'm looking at it very simply. One man who wants to be prime minister, taking on another man who wants to be prime minister. I mean, that's a simple story. I don't want to get drawn into whether it's good or bad or overplaying or underplaying. Nitish Kumar has done this and he's done it deliberately.
Well, may I say it's my personal...
Yeah, I get your point.
Arnab,
but let's get...
My personal assessment is, my personal assessment is that in a coalition situation, it is easier for coalition partners with variegated constituencies to accept a person who comes across as more inclusive, and that is perhaps was the success of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
That's the idea.
He could become Prime Minister despite having contributed relatively lesser in the growth of the party than Mr. Advani. He became Prime Minister for the same reason.
He's a canny politician. He is trying to draw Narendra Modi into the debate. Mahesh Jethmalani raised his hand. We're opening up the debate right now. Yes, Mr. Jethmalani.
No, all I'm saying, if you are going by the interview in the Economic Times today, then you have to be fair to Nitish Kumar. You have made an insinuation that this is one prime ministerial candidate attacking another indirectly. I have to refute that because Nitish Kumar has made it very clear.
Oh, Bob, that he's not in the race.
If you are taking him for his word, if you are taking him, yes, he's not in the race.
Yes, come on. Which prime minister?
If you are going by his, I am going to go by his word. If you are using every word of his against Modi, and by implication, I am going to accept every word that he has used and saying that he is opted out.
Why are you obfuscating? Why on earth are you obfuscating?
For the time being, anyway.
Every prime minister, you are more seasoned in politics than political journalism. You know politics very well. No prime ministerial aspirant says I want to be prime minister.
Yes.
No, there's no.
Arnab, one man's obfuscation is another man's overemphasis.
Well,
that's what you are guilty
no
of.
prime minister has ever declared I want to be prime minister. I mean, VP Singh till a day before, and so did Mr. Chandrasekhar, declare they had no intention of ever wanting to be the prime minister of this country. So I'm not going to take anyone at face value on that. I'm going to open up to Mr. Swami Swapan Das Gupta, coming to you right after that. Mr. Swami, what are you reading here? Are you also going to try and play down what Nitish Kumar has said?
Well, of course I'll play down.
Yes.
The rule, when a politician doesn't name names, he's just throwing something in the wind for a debate. I cannot assume that Nitish Kumar meant Modi, and let me say that if Modi is a committed Hindu, then he must be secular, because all Hindus are secular. There's the other religions which where hardcore people become communal and jihadi and others. But Hindu has got a great tradition of welcoming Parsis, Jews, Syrian Christians, and even the early Muslims who came to Kerala were called Mopla Muslims. So therefore, if you are accusing Modi of being a hardcore Hindu, well, then you have to also admit that he must be secular.